Happy Wellness Wednesday, Christmas edition, holidays edition, whatever you celebrate edition. My guest today is Cassie Rhea, and she is going to be joining us. She is a holistic coach. Hi, Cassie. Sun warrior. And she is a futuristic hippie and also a superfood alchemist, Cassie Sunray. Cassie Sunray.
Yes, Cassie.
Hey, happy
Brian,
Wellness Wednesday.
happy Wellness Wednesday. Yes,
How
we're
are
here.
you?
We made it.
Yeah, you're right on time. I saw
Yeah,
you were up early this morning gazing.
yes, definitely try to get out there as often as possible. Sometimes I can see it. I mean, it's pretty much just a few minutes down the road. And whenever I'm over at my beau's house, he lives right on Clearwater Beach. So we get the sunrise from his balcony and then sunset right on the beach, which is, super magical. So yeah, like to get out there.
Amazing.
How are
Um,
you?
Everything's good. I'm putting your Instagram, and it's Cassie Sunray?
Cassie Sunray. Yep.
Okay. Cassie Sunray, all one word.
Yep.
Rhea.
Carea. Yep.
Got it. Is my guest today. All right, guys. So let's get to know Cassie. Cassie, so, the words that describe you that you gave me were some really awesome words. And I love the way that you incorporate your soul and your, conscious, way of living into your language. That you're you believe in magic, you believe in herbal medicine, you believe in superfood alchemy, sun gazing, and holistic medicine. Also holistic coaching, life coaching, and you're a futuristic hippie. So I want to get to know all things about you today. So tell us first about the sun gazing, because you were doing that this morning. I know a little bit about it. It's about, what is that about? Activating your pineal gland more, and you don't look at the sun during the middle of the day. It's just like the first couple of minutes in the beginning and end of the day. Is that, and when it's on the horizon?
Yeah, that's the safest way to start for sure. Because until you can train, I mean, eventually after lots of training, you can follow it to where it's higher in the sky.
Oh,
But
wow.
for starters, because when it's at the horizon, about itself in diameter away from the horizon, like at sunrise, it would go up until it's about itself in diameter, and
Okay.
at sunset, you would start when it's about itself at a diameter away from the horizon till it goes down. That's when there's like zero UV rays, so it's
Okay.
super safe. Most people don't have any sensitivity. I mean, there are some people that still are sensitive at that
Sure.
time. But yeah, it's a really, definitely helps to, as we're like solar powered, right? We take in that light.
100%. I can feel that on my runs. When it's sunny out, I feel so much better in my mood.
Yeah.
And also, as a runner, I've seen many great sunsets and many sunsets, and have stopped to look at the sun. And, it's like you said, it doesn't hurt the eyes for most people when it's really low on the horizon. And it does impact our mood a lot. They say after you fly that you should, watch the sunset because it helps to, your diurnal rhythms, your melatonin. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I was just affirming that as a runner, I truly love the sun.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
solar powered for sure. So we're
absolutely.
solar powered.
Yeah, it's solar
Sorry.
power. And so, as we take that in, we're literally getting, just natural fuel. I mean, in ancient, cultures, they would actually use this as food, as medicine and food. And, some people have been able to, quote unquote, heal certain issues by sun gazing. But really, it's a different type of nourishment. You do get that energy. You can also take in, the way that it interacts with, the different cones in our eyes and everything can actually send that sun energy all the way down into a cellular level. So it's really activating so much. Then of course you have, the pineal gland, like you say, which is one of my favorite things to really take when I'm doing sun gazing ceremonies. Is I'll have a cacao, usually a cacao shaga reishi kind of superfood elixir. And it's like, I usually, mostly it's like a heart and eye opening elixir. So the cacao is something that's really great. Obviously it's a heart opener. It's rich in magnesium, so many benefits to cacao, right?
Yep.
But for the sun gazing in particular, it can go ahead and cleanse the pineal gland. And then the chaga or reishi mushroom, I use those because they're very rich in melanin, and like
Mm-hmm.
the melatonin, melanin, it all kind of relates to the pineal gland. So then
And
those
chaga also helps to decalcify the pineal gland, is my understanding. And it's a great alkalizer. Reishi is a great anti-inflammatory, the mushroom of longevity and immortality. Yeah, so yeah, that's an
yeah,
awesome combination. Cacao. We actually did a cacao ceremony 2 weekends ago in Miami with the mushrooms incorporated. They mixed the mushrooms from Ultimate Shrooms into the cacao, and it was at night, but it was for 12/12. And but yeah, for the morning, chaga and reishi and cacao, that sounds magical.
yeah, it is. So
And then the
that
sun, like you said, but you can just probably tell people that are inside all the time versus people that are outside, there's a different vitality, that the sun does trigger in your body. And we aren't
yeah.
meant to be inside all the time. So I truly vibe and align with what you're saying here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been I started implementing, I guess, sun gazing maybe 9, 10, 11 years ago, something like that.
Wow.
So it's been definitely a really, powerful and amazing part of my
How
life.
little time does it take to get a benefit?
I mean, gosh, even just a minute would be
5 minutes, even a
sufficient,
minute. Okay.
but like if you can go ahead and like get something that's a few minutes. Some people start to work their way up to where, they'll do 20, 30 minutes, and it just depends on the time, but even a couple minutes would be beneficial. And you're also like, again, in these ancient cultures, like the Egyptians, they would, honor and praise and the sun god Ra, right?
Yeah.
So, they have also like this connection with different, gods and goddesses of the sun and different spiritual beings. And so I use sun gazing quite a bit. Most of the time, I'll have my prayers. I'll send out my intentions, just healing vibes or whatever. Sometimes I end up like creating poetry because I've been a writer most of my life. I haven't written too much lately, but I'll start to recite poetry or just have these downloads of different poetry.
Wow.
But it's a great time. Some people will do their Tai Chi or other yoga practices. That's, again, you get into yoga. People have like, for, the Sun Warrior or the morning rituals.
Flows. Yeah.
So yeah, you can really just take that time to pray, to meditate, to, send your intentions, to connect with that energy, to connect with nature, to fuel your body with a different type of energy source. So
That's amazing. So
yeah.
sun gazing is our first big topic, and it's so good for your body and also it sounds like your mind and just everything, your mood. So let's talk a little bit about the next topic I wanted to talk about was that you recently did a detox with David Wolf, was it?
Yes.
I'm curious. Tell me how that went, and how the superfoods from Live Ultimate help you in that detox.
Yeah, so they're incredible. I'm on the superfoods all the time, every day anyway, and I have been for 15 years. But the Live Ultimate stuff is great because what we do with the detox, he is, all about the detox. He usually does twice a year, but because of everything that's been going on just in society and right now with, and astrologically and everything, he did a third one. So we had one in September. We just had one starting December 1st, and it's a 2-week plant-based detox.
Okay.
And the first week is essentially liquids only with 1 meal a day. And those liquids can be elixirs, teas, blended soups, smoothies, protein drinks, things like that. Of course, we're eliminating, sugars and dairy. And of course, it's all plant-based, so no animal products. And then the second week is liquids only.
Oh, wow.
So for the detox, the elixir and the shrooms work. I mean, they're perfect for that.
Yeah,
because
they're
you can
perfect.
get so much. That's what I love about superfoods and why I've been such a fan, because they're so nutrient dense,
Mm-hmm.
and they have so many benefits. So especially for like the detox and the cleansing the body, alkalizing it, cleansing it, detoxifying, and really nourishing while you're doing so. On that cellular, like for the nutrient dense aspect, they're perfect. So I would have my my chaga tea with my mushrooms and do a little elixir like that if I want something hot, and then of course the cold elixirs are amazing. So he's a fan and does several of these detoxes. So they're
cool.
great.
So you were just mentioning that you've been really into superfoods for over a decade, and this has been a big part of your life. And I met you, I think, a couple of years ago at, I think it was at Manna Life Foods, almost in downtown. It was in the first place I met you, which is a superfood mecca in Miami. What got you all started in health and wellness, and also just like taking like nutrition as your passion? Because I've always known you to be a superfood expert. You know, I think when I saw you at Manna, you were giving a seminar there on superfoods and recipes and just how to, like, you know, but just all these cool concoctions. Like, what got you started, and what's your journey? Tell us about your journey.
So yeah, thank you for remembering that. In 2006, my girlfriend, at that time I was running a home-based mortgage business with my boyfriend here over in Tampa area, and my girlfriend had given me a book. She knew that, like, we would, you know, we were healthy, we were eating clean, like, you know, traditional, like old school kind of workout diets, you know, like no salt, just really plain stuff. And you know, but my girlfriend handed me a book and she said, I think you really like this. And it was all on raw foods, superfoods, and everything. And I mean, it just like resonated with me super hardcore. I ended up like taking like these notes, furiously taking notes. And then I ended up giving it to my boyfriend at the time, Shane. He ended up reading it, loved it. So we went 95% raw. We just ordered all these superfoods, started getting into raw foods. David Wolf, it was the first time I ever ordered superfoods, was from his company back then.
Wow.
And, so I've been learning from him for the last 15 years, and I've been working with him for about 10 years now.
Wow.
And, so yeah, it just literally had, and at the same time we came into the raw foods, we also came into the like metaphysical stuff, like law of attraction, what the bleep do we know, all kinds of different things in that realm. So we were just, I mean, talk about getting like downloaded, and one of the most epic transformations of my life ever. Like the energy, the clarity, the feeling of connectedness with everything. You know, I mean, it was like a super activation.
Wow.
And I said, I've got to let everybody I know, like, you know, tell everybody I know about this. And of course, back then, nobody, you know, had any idea what raw foods were. They, you know, they were like, oh, eating sushi and salads. And I'm like, no, this whole other thing. But, you know, it was still, and even still over here, you know, it's becoming a little more well-known, but, you know, we're talking 15 years ago. So,
yeah.
But I felt so amazing. And we went through like a really challenging time. We ended up experiencing the real estate bust of 2008. We closed our mortgage business in 2007. So there were times that I had like $20 to my name. I didn't have a job. Like, it was there, but I really, like, I just kept focused, like, this too shall pass. I have my superfoods. I just felt like they really kept me in that like space of magic and just trusting in the flow. And somehow, some way, like something, it always worked out for me, you know, like things always happen. But I definitely went through some extremely challenging times, but the superfoods were mega activators. And I just kept on that path. I switched out of the mortgage industry. And I also was into hospitality. So I did a lot of bartending and serving in that, which is how I came into Manna Life Food. I actually was ended up managing that for a couple years there while I was in Miami. So, but it was perfect because it was in alignment with my hospitality experience. Plus the superfoods, and was able to start doing some workshops there. But yeah, so that was really kind of it. I just fell into it. Of course, David Wolf has been one of my greatest mentors. I took his raw nutrition certification in 2010 when I was overseas. And in that, I also took a couple other certifications from the Body Mind Institute, and I just continued to learn, took a little Ayurveda course in Goa, India. I was overseas for a year.
Oh, wow.
It was incredible. Like that year, 2010 to 2011, was when I really got to like focus. I'd been so passionate about like really wanting to study and just like immerse myself in this, you know, to learn more, to be able to share with people. And I got that time when I was over in Doha and in Germany and in India. So yeah, it's just been this journey. And then, like I said, working with David Wolf on a regular basis, I get to learn so much from him as well as everybody in his network of people. So that's why when I found Live Ultimate, I was like, oh my goodness, because y'all have like all, you know, all of my check boxes were like marked off in products that I would personally, you know, consume or, you know, want to share with others. And so, yeah, I just knew y'all had it going on.
Do you remember how you learned about us? Because I remember this is a couple of years ago. You were one of our first ambassadors.
Yeah, I was doing a mushroom. I was sharing some information on mushrooms at Lucci. She was doing an event. It was one of the solar, like some kind of lunar event, and I was with a group of ladies, and Melise she says, "Oh," she goes, "I know you really love mushrooms." She goes, I think you might have I might have a mushroom product you might like." So she ended up taking me over to your office, and I was introduced to Mark. And you know, of course, I met you there as well. You were sharing about, you know, how the testing you do, the third party, you know, everything's, you know, triple third party tested for chemicals and pesticides. You know, everything's organic, mindfully sourced. Of course, you have glass packaging. You know, like all these things. So I was like lit up whenever I was in the office, and then of course meeting Mark. You know, both of you guys just have this amazing energy.
Oh, thank
And
you.
so yeah, so Melise was the one who first, you know, because of me sharing about mushrooms and superfoods, she was like, "Oh, I think I might have a product you might like." And yeah,
Cool.
so I
Shout
enrolled.
out to Melise.
Yeah, to Melise.
So we're all in the raw superfoods here, of course. When you were mentioning David Wolf and raw, like I loved, I love raw foods. I tried it for a while to be 100% raw, in around 2010, 11 as well, with like 30 bananas a day and Dr. Douglas Graham and
Wow.
do you remember Freely and Durian Rider and all them? And like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I used to be really into it too. Like tried to live raw 100%, and it was fun. I mean, as an athlete, it helped me a lot with recovery. Less, and it's just better for detoxing too. You're not putting so much heavier food in your body. But I think Live Ultimate, I love that all of our superfoods are raw. The mushrooms have a special story. But yeah, I think that the raw is a really important thing that a lot of people forget about is that, you know, when you cook things, you lose the enzymes and the vitamins and, you know, just getting some raw foods in your diet is going to help. So Live Ultimate, you're getting 25 first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Um, what tell us about like alchemy, like because you're a superfood alchemist and you're also a holistic coach and you're on David Wolf's team. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned about superfoods, like the ones in our formula, in the Ultimate Elixir, and you know the alchemy you were mentioning before. Cacao and shrooms are a great alchemy. What other alchemies and what other interesting things do you want to share with the audience today about our superfoods since you study them so much? Um,
Yeah. Well, you know, that's one reason I really love the blend. I mean, your elixir blend is literally one of the best tasting ever.
right
It's
behind me.
mild. Yeah, it's so mild, and it, like, as far as flavor, you know, some green drinks can be super potent. So, you know, it truly is a synergistic blend of all of those ingredients. And I mean, you know, the list of things, the benefits of all those superfoods. I mean, you have, you know, I mean, you'd have a scroll like
Sure.
this just to go through all the benefits of everything. But you know, when you get into the super greens, because so many people don't eat greens, and if they do, you know, they're eating some lettuces, which of course go with lettuce and plants if that's like one thing you're adding in. But when you can start to get into some of these superfoods like chlorella or spirulina, you know, that just work on a deeper level. They have these different amazing. I'm really big into color pigments, so of course these have,
Anthocyanins,
yeah, they
right?
really
Yeah, those.
those deep color pigments. Um, and then they all, you know, and because they work different, like different parts of the body. You have some that work more on your blood and circulation. You have some that work on, you know, more of like kidney adrenal support. You have some that work on more hormone balancing. So the more that you like play around with these superfoods and the herbs, and also get to learn the flavor. So I say, you know, superfood alchemy, because I like to create a different elixirs, and I like to work with colors of the rainbow, and which is easier to do with these different color pigment, like superfood powders. But then you start to say, okay, well, if I want to work on, you know, my hormones or like libido or strength, you know, like you start to learn with like maca and different things and how to work with that. Obviously, maca and cacao go really well together. But so yeah, it's just a fun thing to play with. Again, the ultimate elixir is by far like one of the best, and as far as just plain water. And you have to try this, because David's cousin Shervine has this Symbiotica Synergy C. It's a liquid form of vitamin C that tastes kind of like a dreamsicle with a zing. So if you like a dreamsicle, I'm telling you. So I would do the elixir with water, but now what I'll do is I'll add, of course, my crystal energy and a little bit of things, and but a
Hmm.
little part of this Synergy C. Oh my gosh, it even takes it to another level. So it's
Okay.
so I like to play with things like that, you know, like in my
Yeah.
water, a little pinch of salt, a little crystal energy, a lot of love, you know, the trace minerals, you know, with the elixir, I add that. With the Synergy C, I like to play around with the blue phycocyanin, like extract, just to give it extra color, you know, like all
Hmm.
these rainbows. I just love rainbows. So
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, but I know you now. Do you normally take, because you have like the shrooms, and do you normally take them together, or do you normally take them
I take
separate?
them separate. Yeah,
Hmm.
I take them separate, and I like the shrooms hot.
Yeah.
I take the elixir in cold water. Generally on the weekends, I sometimes put it in a smoothie. I
Yep.
want to get more into some of the other, like adding a pinch of sea salt or adding in, a little lime. Some people do things like that. I don't have a lot of combinations. Just a couple smoothie recipes that are pretty basic: banana and almond butter, almond milk, and some blueberries maybe. But we can make it more, obviously, put things in there that are going to help, like basically more maca maybe or something, since
Yeah.
you're not getting a huge amount of each superfood. You're getting a smaller dose, which is good because you're getting it daily. If
Exactly.
you're going to add something in, I would probably add in, as a runner, some more maca or some cacao. Maybe the cacao I put in the shrooms actually, but I put the maca in with the elixir. Although
Yep.
yeah, I like maca a lot. I know our founder Mark Wachter does too, and I like cordyceps a lot. Those are both really, energetic herbs,
Hmm.
and mushrooms. But we are looking for great holiday recipes, and I've heard a lot. Like I heard someone say the other day, maca caramel. You can like
Oh,
make a really good maca caramel that you can like, drizzle over something.
yeah.
I don't know what, maybe a plant-based ice cream or something, or a special treat for the holidays, like a muffin. You
Yeah.
can make caramel out of maca. I mean, how cool. You
Yeah.
could
No,
probably
that
put cordyceps in there too. And you could put
totally.
CBD and dark chocolate. I mean, there's, peppermint. You got the peppermint and the
Exactly.
CBD, peppermint shrooms. You got lots of interesting holiday concoctions coming up. So yeah, I'm excited to try that out over the holidays. I'm pretty standard, just, drink it as it is. I've always loved the taste of things like, I used to make nettles tea all the time and make like nettles omelets. Like I worked on a farm a little bit, so I like nettles. I mean, no, most people don't
Yeah.
eat nettles.
Yeah.
Definitely an herbal gerbil. I was an herbal gerbil as a teenager too, so late teenager. But yeah, I mean, I like the taste of the elixir a lot. I also noticed that it perks me up. And someone yesterday came in our office and tried it for the first time, and within like a minute, they're like, "Oh my God, I feel energy already." And I was like, "That's
Yeah.
the superfoods." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, they're perking you up, So you can
They,
definitely feel it. And the mushrooms you can feel super powerful because it's such a big dose. What other, do you have any mushroom facts you want to share with the audience today? I know you've studied mushrooms a lot.
yeah. Well, I'm just so grateful. I will say that y'all have this blend because, I started getting into obviously the superfoods. Yeah, it's so beautiful. They're the best. I had started getting into the mushrooms because superfoods came 15 years ago, but I didn't start getting, I had my first cup and bought my first bag of shaga tea because I started working with David, yeah, volunteering in 2010, but really started working like more events and customer support in 2012. And I bought my first bag of shaga tea. So I've been taking the shaga tea for a while. And so that was my journey into the mushrooms, was starting in 2012. And so it was mainly just the shaga tea, some reishi tea, and doing that. And every now and then I'd get a couple like mushroom powders
Hmm.
around, like from Jing or like Jing herbs or from Dragon herbs or something. But when y'all had this 8 strain blend, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then of course it's all fruiting bodies, which I appreciate all the mushroom. I appreciate mycelium when it's a
Sure.
proper
Yeah,
clean.
of course. And mycelium does have medicinal properties too. And there's some good products with
Yeah,
mycelium. Yeah,
like yeah, and you think about the way it looks, like, if you think about what you're communing with, when the mycelium
sure.
really looks like the network of something,
Of the
and like
brain, of the
our,
nervous system. Yeah.
yeah, so like I
Internet. Yeah.
that, but then with the more medicinal therapeutic for immune support, then that's when I really love the fruiting bodies, and I love
Mm.
the purity. We do have such a beautiful product. So I mean, I
Yeah.
think then my staple for immune support, like I call super immunity. There's so much you can do with the mushrooms, and again, when you blend them with cacao, which I love cacao stuff, it's great. But you can, I mean, even people who are new to mushrooms, they'll put it just in the water and they're like, oh, well, that actually tastes pretty good. And, it's
Yeah.
like a pretty mild, y'all just have it really, I mean, such perfect blends there. So,
Thankfully, we decided at the very beginning never to add any sugar, any type of filler, any type of flavor. I mean, there's so many mushroom coffees out there, and there's nothing wrong with them. But, I think ours is just so versatile, and then we're attracting people that are into purity versus,
yeah.
taste, because yeah, you can take something and put stevia in it all day long, or put something else like, chocolate in it, and it might not be a great chocolate either. There's
Right.
chocolate, as you know, there's ceremonial chocolate, there's ancestral. In fact, I think I saw on your story the other day, were you communing with some chocolate that was like 4,000-year-old recipe or something? Then,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, there's a cute little cafe lounge just up the road here. My girlfriend brought me there, and the owner, he's a holistic nutrition doctor. I just met him, so I don't know, but he's very well traveled. He's, has his coffee and his cacao, and he gets his cacao. I think that was, he had like 3 or 4 different ones. I want to say it was Guatemala. That might have been the,
Yep.
but he had this recipe. So essentially it was, when he traveled and would get this cacao, they taught him the traditional recipe because it's just a cacao paste, water. There's no sweeteners, there's no milks, there's nothing like that. And, when you get the really amazing, heirloom cacao and
Sure.
just have it with that, like the fats in the cacao paste,
Yeah.
just make it naturally creamy. He had a
Different
little,
soils. Yeah. They have different mineral buildup. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
and you
unique
have a
soil
little,
there.
yep, you have a little bit of vanilla
Okay.
for the into sweetness. So it's like the king and the queen, right?
Yeah.
You have that
Yeah.
energy,
I love
and
vanilla.
put a little bit of spice. It was
I
capsicum,
was gonna say a little bit of capsicum. Yeah.
and
I've been the best. Yeah.
it was divine.
Helps activate it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have something more. I mean, you have that it helps to even open it up for, and then those spicy herbs kind of go in and drive different minerals and things into the body, into the cells. Plus, the fat helps to deliver it through, to the
Hmm.
entire body. So it's, I always love to have the fats in there. I love to have the spice, and that's another thing. And even in Ayurveda, they share, all the different flavors, so that you're nourishing like all different things. And again, that's part of the alchemy of just eating and drinking in general. But yeah, he had a recipe that was, from 2000 years, and it was really beautiful. And it just, like I said, tasted amazing. So I'm
Wow.
excited to go back, and I really appreciated what they have, because they have, they had different elixirs. They were using some mushrooms. They were using, like ginger, turmeric, different, nice. It wasn't just your standard, regular latte,
Okay.
no. So they had some great things going on. One thing I did learn about the mushroom lion's mane, which I was like, wow, I know that lion's mane is great for, obviously like brain, cognitive function, memory, things like that, right? So he said that he had been harvesting. He said, I didn't realize how much raw material it takes to even make a pound of dried lion's mane mushroom. He said that because lion's mane is one of the mushrooms that are like 90% water, which again, our brain is kind of 90% water. So that put another correlation onto why it's beneficial, because even that property alone, which I hadn't realized, that I was like, oh, that's such a similar to our brain. No wonder it works with our brain so well. But I thought that he said it was like 38 pounds of raw to get like 1 pound of dry.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a lot. I mean,
So
it's,
to
yeah,
make our ultimate shrooms, you're literally using a lot of lion's mane to get half a gram per serving,
right. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Uh,
incredible. But yeah, mushrooms are adapt. I mean, I have so much to learn. That's why I love listening to you speak and then you share your
uh,
information. I love how, I geek out with you too. And I'm like, yes, 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 when you're
it's so
sharing all this
cute.
stuff. So
Thanks.
that definitely, teaches or
Well,
makes my heart smile for sure. So
yeah. Well, we're a great community. Tell us about your team. And first of all, are you living in Tampa? Is that where you said you're living right now?
well, I'm close to Tampa. I'm over St. Pete Beach
Okay.
area. Raised in Tampa, but just moved over here a couple years ago. I was in Miami for a couple years, and
Yep.
from moved here. I love St. Pete. We have a beautiful wellness community here, and I was really just starting to get out. I connected with a couple wellness centers, one in particular, Awakening Wellness, in St. Pete, to do some events, and then of course with the whole pandemic kind of deal, we have that has been a little bit weird to navigate. I'm still connected with them, but yeah, we have this around here. So there are a few people I've met recently that are part of Live Ultimate. I know Yenny. She's nearby as well, so we've met up a couple times, and so yeah, we're still we're making our way. We're navigating what's going on right now. But I just did my first podcast last Saturday, not this
Cool.
past day, but a week ago. I can't even believe this. Like after 15 years, my first podcast, my first interview ever.
Yeah.
So the
Oh, it's not for every, I mean, some people like to do it. I like to do it most of the time, but there's a lot of people with a lot to share, but not everyone has a podcast, and it's not like I mean, it's a big thing now in 2020, of course, that like it's really taken off because of Instagram TV and YouTube. Where can people find your podcast?
Yeah, well, I did. My girlfriend, it's a positive impact life. Her name is Love Infinity. Well, Charity's her name, but Love Infinity. So it was her podcast. Positive.
Oh, okay. I thought you started your own. Okay, your
No,
own.
it's funny
Well, you
because
should have one, Cassie.
I probably will one day for sure.
It takes a little technology. Let me tell you, I'm still working with some apps and trying to figure out these apps that help you produce them so that you can just record them previously, produce them. But with Instagram Live, it's similar, but for YouTube, it's good to do a little bit more production, but it's cool. I mean, it's fun. It is a little bit of work. It adds on some hours of work to get it all right, and plan it all,
Yeah.
but it's fun. So what were you talking about on the podcast the other day?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun doing it and just, putting myself out there and sharing it because that's where I'm at right now. I've had the experience, personal experience. I'm working with some of my greatest mentors and learning. I learn a lot from y'all, and it's really now just to really, be more vocal and share. So on her podcast, we talked initially, both podcasts were really on superfoods and, how they can benefit the body. I mentioned Live Ultimate, obviously, in both episodes. And we did a little, I created the elixir on there with her, and then had given her the shrooms to try. So she was drinking her shroom coffee the next time we did it. And so she's a fan. So we'll do some more. I'm going to do the next one. I just messaged her earlier about super immunity because, I have my immune protocol, different things. And of course, mushrooms are on top on the list there. But so she has hers. I do have it on my Facebook page, linked to the two podcasts, or there's her Positive Impact Life on YouTube. So I think they're about 20-25 minutes each. And
Positive Pet Life, is that what you said?
Positive Impact Life.
Oh, Impact Life, sorry. Positive Impact Life.
Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
So, so I'm excited, and again, I want to thank you for connecting, and and I love your spirit and your energy and everything that you're up
thanks.
to.
Well, you've been a great big part of our community, and I've been wanting to interview you for a long time. I know you've been one of the leaders too in our Telegram, WhatsApp community, and our other ways our ambassadors communicate. You've been a mentor to people. But actually, I was just trying to remember my next question and my next question is, as I want to talk about the Live Ultimate community too, but tell us about your coaching services, because you're a health and holistic life coach. You're a nutritionist. You're also tell us about what services and like how you work with your clients and. Yeah.
So I'm certified like I said, in the holistic nutrition realm. And I, because of the experience I have with David Wolf, I incorporate other holistic lifestyle choices, different things to, ways to live or to better, like shower filters or, how to clean your water, different things. So, but my focus is really on superfood nutrition, and nutrition there. I've done a few personal one-on-one coaching. I'm shifting to, maybe I've been wanting to maybe start more of a group because one-on-one is very time consuming. I have not only my nutrition realm, but I'm working on a few other projects as well. So it's kind of balancing. So the one-on-one coaching is something that I feel like is not really for me at this moment. Although I'm more than happy to answer questions. And people ask me questions all the time, but I think I might start something like a little mini, like a 90-day body mind renewal kind of program soon. I think that might be most fitting. I'm also working on building up my LinkedIn versus Facebook because I'm, really kind of transitioning off Facebook. But my Instagram is a great place to connect with me, learning tips and things like that. So, and with the Live Ultimate community, we absolutely have such a phenomenal group of people. Like every time we have new people joining this tribe, it's like, wow, really such beautiful spirits that are here on this mission. And that's my mission in here is, which in 2010, it just came to me. I was like, really to inspire vibrant health for the intelligent and spiritual evolution of humanity and our planet. And so these superfoods, you know, the superfoods and the shrooms are the most intelligent on the planet. And of course, the more, as you know, the more that you can tap into this intelligence, it just transforms into something more spiritual, you know, and you know, you just really feel the oneness of everything.
It's
And
like an
so
onion, right?
I
You keep
feel
going deeper into the onion. Yeah.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Well, that's how it
And so
kind of
yeah, we
started, like right with the superfoods. Starts with, you know, less salt in your diet and trying to be healthy. And then you learn about greens and you learn about mushrooms and you learn about alchemy. And then all of a sudden,
yeah.
spiritual, you start to learn about, yeah, that what other things are causing your body to be a disease, you know, if it is or not functioning properly.
Yeah. And
But that's cool.
salt, then you start to learn the things like we were always thought like, oh, salt is going to do this, but really
Sure.
it's the wrong kind of salt. So then
Yeah,
you
you're
also
right. Yeah,
start
I
to
didn't
tune
mean to
in
pick
more
on salt.
in,
Minerals are super important,
you know,
electrolytes and minerals. Yeah, and the sea salts and the
yeah.
diatomaceous earth and all that. Yeah, I love actually as a runner, I need my critical salts. And but you know, when you mentioned you're a futuristic hippie, I was raised by hippies, so I want to learn about the futuristic hippies because I know about the hippies from the 70s, and I'm a hippie because I got a degree in botany and I also got a degree in conservation biology and I studied environmental sciences. So I used to have dreadlocks. I'm definitely a hippie, even though I don't have dreadlocks anymore. But what are the futuristic hippies look like to you?
Oh my goodness. So you had dreadlocks?
When I was 20. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
42
gosh,
now.
I gotta see
My
a picture.
brothers and me all did. I have three brothers. We all had dreadlocks.
That's
My hair's a
amazing.
little thinner now. I don't know if I could grow them anymore, but in
Yeah,
college I had dreadlocks.
I've got
I
to see
worked on
a
an
picture.
organic farm and I was eating kava all day and nettles and burdock in
Oh my God.
Wisconsin. Cool things. Yeah. I mean, learning about blood cleansers and herbs, but I hippies were a big part of my life. So, and I like the way you use your language. Like you use the I, E-Y-E, and the soul, like soul excited instead of so excited. And
Yeah.
just tell us a little, is that part of the futuristic hippies? Is that like, tell us about the mentality of what you're explaining for
Well,
your,
that's been a passion project of mine, and I've kind of kept things on like a quiet. But in 2014, I had a conversation with a guy who I dated, and you know, we were talking about being solar powered with the sun, and I said, yeah, and we're solar powered, like living in alignment with soul. And so this passion project is really about connecting, you know, so I also started to incorporate a lot of the different solar language and really switching out the so for soul, like, you know, like I love you so much. And so
yep.
that is something that
So the power
is
of your
part of,
language. Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
language upgrade, you know, to next level, because with the different ways that we speak, or you know, language is really important, of course, like
hmm
it's something that can, you know, make or break us, so to speak. And you know, if we want to next level our language, I'm always thinking of creative ways to you know, to either amplify my energy or what I'm saying. And so that came to me, to start to change out so for soul, you know, and when it's appropriate, like you wouldn't, I mean, they'll always have to say that, but if you're really thanking somebody on a really deep level and you're like, I thank
Sure.
you so much, right? So
Yeah. You're
I
not
really,
writing to the government soul on your tax returns, maybe, but you could. But I love it that when you connect deeply with someone and you're upgrading your language, it's like yeah. And I know a lot of people like to say that for certain things, like even like a weekend, like the Rastas call it the strong end, you know, like
yeah,
Rastafarians have a lot of like interesting ways of
yes,
changing words instead of saying the devil or something or some other type of,
yes,
they're
yeah.
always changing
Instead of
words. So
spending time, it's sharing time. So that's one
hmm
upgrade. Is like, instead of spending time with you, I thank you for, I'm sharing time with you. So yeah, all kinds of little plays on words, and then with my superhero name that was gifted to me in 2012, which was Cassie Sunray. So the solar powered, it's kind of a play on that, is, you know, being solar powered by the sun and sun ray, but then there's also the solar powered, like, you know, as again, as we live in alignment with our soul, because with the whole mission is to inspire vibrant health, you know, for our intelligent spiritual evolution. Well, the more that we all live in alignment with our soul and are there, the more that our own vibration is going to be raised, right? Which in turn raises the vibration of the planet and humanity, and all of the, you know, it's a, you know, it effervesces, and here we go. We're creating this. So that's a project I'm working on right now. I've got, you know, some graphic designers that I've been working with to have the, like, the little tank tops and t-shirts and stickers and
I
things like
love it.
that.
Yeah.
Um, And as far as a futuristic hippie, it's, you know, living in one with nature. But as we know, as times evolve, you know, there are just a little more advanced ways of doing things, but you're still in harmony with the planet.
Sure.
Or just the way you can, you know, if you really want clean water, there are some advanced technologies that you can use, like even magnets, or, you know, with a little bit of iodine, or whatever that you can do. So you're still, you know, living in harmony with the earth and using the plant medicines and using, you know, and being conscious of how you're connecting and working with the planet. And living in general, that we're not being wasteful, you're, you know, resourceful. So yeah, it's just kind of like that, like as far as like, you know, maybe not like, you know, I mean, I love to be barefoot, but it's maybe not like just being all like bummed out and dirty and whatever, but you can have these
Yeah.
different lifestyle tactics and different lifestyle ways of being that are a little bit more futuristic, but still have that hippie at heart.
Like a smart home, you know,
Yeah.
a smart home
Yes.
that's like
Yeah.
100% made out of renewable materials. Like I believe in tiny homes and, you know, being off the grid and using things like compostable toilets and having solar if
Yeah.
possible, but, you know, being off the grid. But yeah, I mean, you can still have a smart house and use technology. You just also want to, you know, you vote with your dollar, I always think. So, you know, like however you're going to spend your time and your money, you know, that's, as a hippie, you can also be comfortable and clean
Yes. Yes.
and use skincare that is EWG verified.
Yes.
Because hippies,
Absolutely.
what do you think about the skincare? We didn't talk skincare today. Do you have a quick take on our skincare? Have
Yeah.
you used it a lot? Skin nutrition, we call it.
You know, yes, I have started using it, and you know, it took me a while, I would say, because I've been with Live Ultimate for a couple years now, and I think maybe 7 months ago was when I finally dove in after all the training and everything. I was listening to everything, and I was like, okay, I'm learning more about it, because I've just been pretty basic, like my shea butter, my coconut oil. Like, so I said, man, I'm learning so much in this, and I've questioned you about a couple of the ingredients, and then you've provided me some nice information, and I'm like, okay, let me try it. And then I try it, and it is so, it's like, wow, it's beautiful to put on. You know, it feels amazing, and I'm of course I'm loving that they're superfood infused and with the EWG certifications. So yeah, I've been sharing the information there. I just connected with my soul brother's daughter, who's 20. She just finished esthetician school, and I noticed the other day that her dad bought the kit, this 25% off right now, because I had gifted her the
Oh,
Camu
cool.
complex. She's like, this is amazing. But I figure at a young age like that, and she's just graduating, and I don't know exactly what they're teaching in esthetician school, but I'm sure it's not really superfood related.
Probably
And
not.
so excited to get
You're gonna
her,
spark her curiosity. Yeah.
yeah.
Get her
And
going
so
in that
she
direction.
came over hours. She showed her some stuff, and so yeah, she was really excited to learn. And you know, again, like working with the youth in that way too is always like dear to my heart, as well, so that, you know, she can really start to tend to not only herself but her clients, and as she grows into that, you know, and just learn something different. And so yeah, so the skin nutrition line, I'm a fan, because I do appreciate, you know, all the care and the work that y'all put into creating those, keeping them super high vibe and very clean. Yeah, I love it. So I've been
Thank
using
you.
it for sure and share. Thank
Cool.
you.
That's perfect. Yeah, I love how you said it's superfood infused. And yeah, it's basically EWG verified means thousands of ingredients that have been banned by the EWG are not in any of our products. And but beyond what we prevent keeping out, which is a huge story, it's what we put into them. And there's so many great things that, yeah, we might have used individually before. Like, I mean, I used to use witch hazel growing up for like, you know, tonifying and clarifying my skin. Tea tree oil I used when I was a teenager when I had acne. You know, individual things, but Live Ultimate has just created really, you know, cool essential blends. And yeah, I think 2021 we're gonna have some exciting updates too. So can't wait
Yeah.
to share some new things coming out, and yeah, have the whole team's help to develop it. So is there anyone you want to give a shout out to from Live Ultimate? I know you shouted out Maylise before, and David Wolf. He's not Live Ultimate, but he's big shout out. We had big shout out to David Wolf. I love him too. He's a
Yeah.
expert, one of the world's top experts, and also inspirational figureheads. how do you describe him? Leaders in the world
Yeah,
of, yeah.
he's one of our greatest health visionaries ever. I mean, he's also an extreme freedom fighter. He's been really sharing a lot of information on like, like uncovering what's going on really in reality, like, having us question certain things with the government and politics and all kinds of things. So he's a biodynamic farmer. I mean, he grows a
Oh, I
lot of
love it. I
in
worked on a
his
biodynamic farm. I love that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's incorporating astrology and the earth and
Yep.
everything
So
together,
he's
burying.
in
Yeah.
Noni. He's in Noni Land in Kauai is his farm out there. So, he's just
Wow.
brilliant and
He's
super heart
living so
centered.
pure on the land. Yeah. In Hawaii.
Yeah.
Wow. Such a high energy
So,
out there.
yeah. But yeah, as far as this, I mean, for
And
sure,
shout out to
you,
Live Ultimate.
yeah, you and your team,
Oh,
Mark, of course. I mean, your whole team, Mark, Rod, Linda, like everybody there. Our leaders, I mean, Andrew and Aaron and Allie, they've been so solid. I remember when I was first tapping back into Live Ultimate about a year ago, and I just would constantly see Aaron, like, just really showing up, like just consistently there, and to have that just, passion and, just to show up. And of course, when Andrew really joined, it was like I could feel a shift in energy, and I'm like, wow. And we just, there's so many people on the team that
yeah.
are there, that have been super supportive. And of course, Claudia came in, and, she's rocking things. And I mean, there's so many to name, but it's, the foundation of management.
Yeah.
Really, y'all support us like on such an incredible level, and we are just super soul blessed to have y'all here and to put out these products and to have this, just really, again, next level type of information that we can, nourish people with. And so thank you all for everything that you're doing and your dedication too, Brian. I
Oh,
mean,
thank you,
you've been
Cassie.
rocking the lines, for a while now, and
Yeah.
numbers are all available.
Well,
So
yeah, we're
solid.
building it together. I mean, we've made so many friends too. I mean, the cool thing is it brought together over 1,500 people in our ambassador family and so many amazing clients too, and friends of ours who have tried the products. But, the movement has brought together 1,500 people in the US.
Wow.
And, so it's cool how, yeah, it's like we're mycelium, and the ambassadors are mycelium, and the fruiting body is the movement, and the
Yes.
products and the health, is a fruiting body. So, but yeah, it's awesome to see, and you've been a mentor to many. I see you helping so much in our educational aspects, and yeah. So people, anyone who's watching today, if you have any superfood questions about your health, please reach out to ask Cassie. I tagged her Instagram up here. Cassie Rhea is her Instagram.
Right.
Cassie, Cassie, and then Rhea. Sorry, Cassie Ray. It looks like Rhea, but it's Ray, like a sunray. And yeah,
Right.
Cassie Rhea
Yes.
is my special guest today. We got some shout outs here from some Live Ultimate people. Paola, my girlfriend said hi. Rochelle Ginsburg, give us a wave. Debbie in Arizona.
Yeah, Debbie.
Debbie
Yeah.
Hendricks, Infinite Being 315. So many
Oh,
amazing people joined us today and we're vibing. And I loved our conversation from sun gazing to David Wolf to, alchemy to mushrooms, just so many topics covered today. I know we're
hippie
coming
farm.
up, yeah. Organic farming, yeah. That's one of my dreams is to get back on the farm and to have land that I can grow anything I want to grow on and just keep evolving on that land and get closer to the earth, so that it's not just the grocery store that I'm close to. Uh,
Yeah. Yes.
and Live Ultimate at least is keeping me close to the earth, but I miss from being in Wisconsin. I miss my organic farming, the land, and that's one of my big goals for 2021. That's ended on big goals for 2021. I know mine is to, hopefully either get into more of a stable living situation or have a small piece of land. I've actually been working with a realtor and a lender and trying to, get ready for a small purchase of 2 to 5 acres. And that would be a dream come true for me.
Oh,
Build a tiny home on it. That's my big dream.
yeah.
What's your big dream for 2021?
Yes. Oh, wow. And for 2021, man, well, for sure being more you know, vocal in this. I mean, you know, just really putting myself out there to share information, because I know, you know, it's a disservice if I'm not sharing. And so to really connect more, do more lives, do more podcasts, you know, start some more writing, because I do love to write, and, you know, can pull up some of my old blog posts and revamp, and a lot of the information is still relative, but really sharing more and connecting. You know, that's, I think, is really huge. But, you know, lifetime goals for sure, to have some land, a garden. You know, I would love to learn more about gardening. I might have some herbs and a couple little things that I do, you know, but really learn about growing my own food, and then having that land and being close to a water source, you know, so
That's
those
big
are,
too. Springs. Yeah, we didn't
yeah,
talk about water today.
yeah, it's
Wow,
huge.
that's huge.
And visit more springs, because we were just,
Visit more
my
springs.
beau and I were just in Ginny Springs a couple weeks ago for the full moon.
Oh,
Gorgeous up
wow.
there.
I went there
Yeah.
about 5 months ago with my girlfriend in June for
Oh,
the first time
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And
Me-
I love springs. I mean, they're so healthy to be around. And I know Wiki Wachi is over by you. Have you ever been to Wiki
Yeah.
Wachi? I went there
I have,
2 times. I'm going to be visiting actually in the spring to Wiki Wachi again. For those that don't know, Wiki Wachi is a river. Is it also springs, Cassie?
I believe there are springs there too.
The
Yes.
spring
I
side?
haven't been there yet, but yeah.
It's near
Mhm.
Tampa, and it's you can kayak on it. There's a lot of manatees. You can rent a house on it, but it's really disconnected from society, and your
Mhm.
cell phones don't even work out there. And it's just a nice
Yep.
hidden place of Florida called Wiki Wachi. Then there's Ginny Springs. Any other shout outs you want to give for cool places to travel in Florida?
Yeah. I mean, we
Any
had a
tips for
blast in Ginny
travel?
Springs.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also Rainbow Springs. That was our first camping trip, was to Rainbow Springs and Ginny Springs. But, you know, anywhere you can find a natural spring, whether it's a cold spring or even a warm spring, you know, that, you're right. There's just so much magic there. You're getting like water that's like obviously right from the source. So I would just say, anytime you can get out in nature, you know, hug a tree, go barefoot, get in the water, take a cold plunge,
mhm.
something like that. It's like
Awesome.
just rejuvenating. And
Grounding, earthing. Yeah, we didn't talk earthing today.
we can talk. We can talk. We'll have to
We'll
cover
do
this.
another one. This is
Yeah.
awesome. I know we're coming up on a corporate call. The management team meets with the field in about 8 minutes. So, but this is incredible, guys. I had so much fun today with Cassie. Cassie, Ray, thanks for being on. We love your
I love
vibe. We love your energy that you bring, raising the vibration of our tribe. Um, so thanks for joining me today. And I'll definitely ask you to come back in 3 or 4 months, to share the latest on your journey. And guys,
Thank you.
follow Cassie on Instagram. She's focusing on Instagram mainly and on LinkedIn right now. And she has a lot of interesting superfood based programs, coaching. She's working with one of the top experts in the world, and David Wolf, David Avocado Wolf. I know I've learned a lot from him in the last 10 or 15 years too. He's always been promoting health benefits of cacao, of avocados, so many raw foods. So happy and holidays. And if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to everyone. And Cassie, thank you for coming on today. Have a great rest of your week, and Happy New Year.
Uh, Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. A big love to you, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll make it the most cosmic ever, and keep it magical.
Awesome. Peace, Cassie. Thanks for
Thank
joining us today.
you.
Happy Wednesday,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Ciao.